Death Spiral, the only anime podcast scientifically conceived to annoy every single type of anime fan.
You know, they say that if you're pissing somebody off, then you must be doing something right. And if you're pissing everybody off, then that makes you the most right.
If
tracks,
no
right?
one at all in the world agrees with you, you must be correct. I mean, that's determinative.
They say that if everywhere you go, you run into jerks and people that are pissed off, that's all their problem, and they need to get over it, you know? You have no inward looking to do.
This is my problem with trite, contrarian joke. You know, the all anime is bad joke.
I mean, we're not innocent of making that joke.
Yeah, but this is why I feel like it's too much. We have to abandon that entire conceit because honestly, there are too many people who agree with that. Whether ironically or seriously, there are too many people in both camps that agree with that. We can't even it has to be, we have to go beyond that. You know what I mean?
Too many people agree with that we're not contrarian anymore.
Yes, we have to find a new angle at it. Something like all anime is mid. All of it. We just flattened the entire thing.
That's a good one.
There's no difference between I, My, Me, Strawberry Eggs, and Serial Experiment Lane. There's no difference between those two things. And if you like either one of those things, you're the same to me.
See, I think that we should go the other way. I think that we should resurrect the tried and true, if it's good, then it's not anime.
You want to go that way.
Yeah.
You have pulled in that direction before.
I know. I think that it's a classic strategy. You know, it goes all the way back to prestige movie releases from Ghibli, you know, getting traction in the U.S. My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away.
Well, that's the problem with it, is because that is already the official Ghibli position that most people have, is that Ghibli movies are good, therefore they're not anime. They're not slumming it in anime. So it's still not quite far enough.
Okay. Mm-hmm. No, I see what you're saying.
Why don't we do the reverse? Why don't we say the only true anime is Ghibli movies and all the other shit is cartoons? What if we went that way?
Oh, okay. I see. We're trying to elevate the label rather than elevate the content to any degree.
We've long since fallen into the trenches of arguing what is and isn't anime versus, anime versus cartoons, Avatar, et cetera, et cetera.
I get it.
What if we take it back and we say, actually, not only is Avatar a cartoon, but so is Dragon Ball.
That's bold. That's bold of you.
They're fucking cartoons.
But I think I can get behind that, actually. I think that I can agree with that, you know? Let's try it out. Okay. Hey, what's your favorite anime? What's your favorite real anime?
Powerpuff Girls.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Berserk, that's a fucking cartoon.
If we could admit that Tezuka was essentially a Disney fanboy.
Yeah. Well, he was. We don't have to admit that. He says that openly, in journals and letters. Sure. Tezuka is not just a Disney fanboy. He was borderline a Walt Disney stalker, sending him cut up pieces of his clothing in love letters, kind of weird attachment to Walt Disney. It's honestly freaky if you look at how much Tezuka literally loved not just the company Disney and what it represents, but literally, I think that he was in love with the man Walt Disney.
Yeah, and I mean, there is the historical record of guys like Monkey Punch, right? Was a big fan of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, right?
Sure.
And they actually made contact. I remember reading something about them. He got to go and tour the animation studio that they were working with, I think, at some point, and maybe contacted some of the guys there. I can't remember, but I do remember that they were mutual fans of each other, which makes total sense because all those Hanna-Barbera cartoons are also perverted if you think about them for even a second.
Oh, yeah. Top Cat, total pervert.
Oh yeah. Shit, man. Come on. You ever watched the Flintstones? Have you ever actually watched the Flintstones?
Well, I think that I've seen the Flintstones. I don't know if I've ever internalized the Flintstones.
You ever actually paid attention when it was on?
I mean,
kind of explored the family dynamics there.
Fred was always coming home from his job as a bus driver, and he was threatening to, always wham, zoom, straight to the moon, domestic abuse, his wife. His best friend was Barney Fife, played by, Don Knotts. I think I know the Flintstones, okay?
And much like the Disney Robin Hood created a sort of ripple effect throughout all of society, creating many different kinds of furries.
Well, yeah.
The Flintstones created cuck porn.
They were getting freaky,
Whenever Fred was at work, where do you think Barney was?
Well,
think about
we
it.
don't even
For
have to be
1 second.
We don't even have to be like, go so far for it. The Flintstones is parroting 1960s like suburban home life. Those people were freaky as fuck. You ever heard of key parties? Yeah, they were fucking weirdos back then. They didn't have anything. They didn't have no internet, no TV to keep them occupied. All they could do was fucking get freaky with each other. Why do you think there's so many divorces in the 80s?
Yeah. Bringing it all back, they were out there doing the thing because there was no anime.
None.
I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Now there's anime. Nobody fucks. Nobody leaves their house.
Anime ruined fucking.
Yeah, people just hang out at Discord chats and talk about lewds. And not the 70s version, which are the good ones. The bad 2020s version.
We're in a real dark time. We've really backslid, both as an anime culture and as a anime world. We're really not doing great.
Death to the ironic, like all anime is bad, and rise up with the anime is a social contagion designed by the CIA to lower birth rates.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah. That's why they're getting so horny now, is because they need to supplant the organic human need for sex with this kind of like weird artificial like monkey cage mother version of human sexuality, which is like horny for cartoon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're giving me flashbacks to all the years of the Shinzo Abe forced marriage meme.
Yeah.
Shinzo Abe made anime horny again to entice people into getting into IRL relationships, but it backfired because it turned us all into 2D obsessed no wife losers. Except for me, I have a wife. Like, it doesn't include me. Like, I'm like a successful real person. I have like a family and people that like respect me.
I don't think that makes you immune to it. I think you're just as susceptible as anybody else, and that's what makes it truly nefarious. We're all affected by this.
None of us are immune to propaganda.
None of us.
I will admit that straight up.
It's true. I am affected by propaganda constantly, even though I profess to be immune. I'm willing to admit that here. I've watched the new season of Fallout. I don't know why.
I've also watched the new season of Fallout. I've been watching it too.
That's just because people talked about it. You just heard it, and then you were affected by that, and you went and watched it.
I mean, I suppose so. I mean, I am, like we just said, I am not immune to marketing, and I do like Fallout the games. Like, that has been a central...
Which ones?
Which ones? Obviously I like 1 and 2 because I was a big Black Isle fan, like, growing up. I played all the Black Isle games.
And you're a hipster.
And I'm a hipster. God, I wish. I'm a millennial, but I was never a hipster, dude. You know exactly how cool I was.
Yeah, you're a gamer.
I liked New Vegas, That's the fan favorite. Everybody likes New Vegas. Fallout 2 and New Vegas. Those are the two good ones. To an extent, I was very excited for Fallout 3 when it was announced, like as a 360 launch title. I was like, oh shit, Fallout 3, this is going to be the best. And then, it was the game that we got. But then we got New Vegas and everything was fine. So yeah, I like Fallout.
I like those first two games.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. I'll give him that.
You'll give him that. I'll give him that. I don't know. What do you think of the season so far?
I like that they killed Kumail. Not that I have a problem with Kumail at all, but
no,
it's fun.
I like Kumail.
It's fun for him to show up for 40 minutes and then get his head exploded. I think that's fun. That's a fun thing to do on a TV show.
God, it was a very telegraphed move. He was about to gun down a room full of children.
Lots of Fallout players did that. I mean, they downloaded specific mods to kill children.
Well, sure. I think that the whatever this season is, they're keeping it, vanilla release, from what I can see. I think it's fun. I think it's getting a little heavy-handed with all of the hey, remember New Vegas references all over the place.
Yeah, you must love that, right? As a fan of New Vegas, you must really love that they're doing that.
I really love it when someone shoves it in my face and says, "Hey, you like The Thing? Remember The Thing? Clap."
Hey, remember this, idiot? You like this?
You know what I'd like? I like Walton Goggins. I like him in anything and everything. He is just a great guy.
Yeah, it really boils down for me. I really like Ella Purnell and I really like Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that Leslie Uggams is on the show. I think that's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about as
nice
as I could be. That's about it. You know what? I appreciate some of the moves that they're doing adaptationally, even if I don't find them particularly compelling. When they try to recreate the slow motion stuff from Fallout 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
The slow motion gore kills or whatever,
and
they do it
mode.
in a way, and they do it in a way that's not super overbearing. I think it's I am mildly impressed with the skill it takes to do that, but at the same time, when the Doom movie went into first person and and fucking Carl Urban just shot demons in first person like the game, and we all went, it's like the game. I also like that, so I don't know what to tell you.
It's hard to reconcile sometimes because I agree that first person scene in the Doom movie with Carl Urban and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is an absolutely fucking kick-ass hype moment. I can't deny that.
I mean, look,
it's so fucking cool. It's so cool.
It's so insanely stupid. But when it happened, we all pointed at the screen and did the fucking soy face. We did it. We did do that. That is true. That is a historical thing that happened. So I don't know. Maybe doing it the subtle way isn't the answer. But I don't know how I would do it.
Yeah.
There's various takes on this. The Silent Hill movie is coming out, and
I'm excited.
We know that this one, they are very particularly cribbing actual scenes, and they're going to be shooting them like the cutscenes in the game. So they're trying to be very authentic in that way, but it's still an adaptation, so they're going to have to change stuff, and maybe that approach is also not very good. We'll have to find out. I mean, I'm very excited, but
the one thing that's for sure is that there's gonna be some fucking weird decisions because it's a Christoph Gans movie, and the first two Silent Hill movies, it's gonna be fucking weird in some places. Okay.
Well, he did not make the second one.
He didn't.
He very pointedly did not make the second one because he wanted to make this one.
He wanted to make
the second one,
Silent Hill 2,
and they didn't let him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they didn't want him to do that.
Okay.
They did that other dumb thing that is completely incomprehensible.
Well, the one they made was kind of semi-based off of Silent Hill 3. It was not a good movie. It was not great.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that first one. Don't like that second one.
All right. let's steer it back on track here. Let's talk a little bit about some anime, I think maybe is appropriate.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't want to hear about the adventures of Duncan Egg?
No, dude. Oh, I can't believe they're making more Game of Thrones. I cannot believe it.
There's going to be 2 concurrent Game of Thrones shows on HBO right now. It's pretty wild.
I don't understand who is still like dieharding this series. Like, I think I've told you several times, and maybe I've even said it on this show before, like the ending of that last season of Game of Thrones ruined prestige television for me. I stopped watching TV after that. Like, all of it. I just completely gave up on it. That's the bad ending of Game of Thrones is directly responsible for me turning back to watching anime as like my main thing. Wow. That's how bad it was.
You're blaming the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I'm going to blame it on a lot more in my life before I give up on that excuse.
Well, I did do a weird thing where I just did not watch the last season, like at all. Mm-hmm. And I felt really good about that.
That was such a smart move. Like, I got that incredible foresight on that one. I wish I had done that.
I didn't avoid some of the really bad episodes from the previous season or the season before that, but it did feel good. Much like when I watched Breaking Bad, I skipped the penultimate season. Just never watched it.
You just skip season 4.
I just completely skipped it. Have no idea what happens there. Literally to this day, I've never seen a single episode of it. I don't know. What was that? You
just waited 2 years and like, all right, let's get back into Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and then other people were watching the final season. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, let's watch it. I don't know what all that other shit was about. That was the fried chicken season.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. You know what? It's not like I missed anything. There was nothing missing from the final season. I didn't have any questions about where these characters were. So feel like also a pretty good decision.
Yeah, no, you came out on top on that one. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I'm just recently like trying to dip my toes back into watching like TV series, and I already messed up because the first thing that I decided to watch was Castle Rock, because I've been reading a bunch of Stephen King books, and that was a disappointment. So now I don't know what to think. Like, I'm about to give up again.
It is weird that you would watch like a bad show that is like known to be bad, and everybody knows like it's terrible.
I was not paying attention. I didn't know that it had that reputation.
There are good shows. I mean, everybody was just talking about Pluribus, and I watched all of Pluribus, and that is genuinely a good show. That is a fun ass show. It's the first show I've seen in a while that is like I can just be like, yeah, that's a good show worth watching.
Yeah,
I can't really think
of a
lot of other ones.
Everyone said that I should be watching that Ben Stiller show about having like 2 lives or whatever. What was that one?
No, Severance?
Yeah, Severance.
Severance is a weird case because I don't think it's like on that scale, like that level. It's not like a holy shit, that's a great show. I think it's a weird one because it has great episodes. Like there are episodes of that show where people are like, holy shit, that was fucking great. But overall, I think the show is like, oh, it's good fun. It's like a fun show. You'd have fun watching it. I don't know if you'd come out and be like, wow, that was a great show.
See, you're really selling it on me right now.
If you were going to watch one show, I mean, it would not be Castle Rock. I could tell you that.
Yeah, well,
that's not what I would recommend.
It ain't going to be Castle Rock anymore, I don't think. You know what I have been watching?
Oh, God.
I know. I've been keeping up on that JJK, that Jujutsu Kaisen.
That is a good show.
Yes, I am enjoying it. I am enjoying the new season.
I know you have beef with this plot line, but it's good. It's good.
There are things that I like about it. You know, we were talking about it the other day, and like you said, the Maki subplot, like with her, killing her shitty family and taking all of their cool stuff. That's like the real core of it for me. I really like what they do with her character in this season. And actually, I haven't watched it yet. I think the most recent episode is her going and kicking the shit out of her whole family, which I'm very excited to watch because that was my favorite clump of chapters from this arc when I was reading it in the manga. And
it's very good.
And I'm sure it's going to look beautiful because everything in this season has looked like absolutely stellar. We joke about it a lot, but like as bad as the working conditions are reported at Mappa, like man, they're putting out good stuff. Like I wish that they had a better situation, but maybe they should stop making it so good. Maybe they should stop making it so good.
Dog, it is about to get so much worse for them
I
because
know.
they signed that exclusive Netflix deal, and it's bad.
I think that we should learn that in this world, in this narrative arc that we're on as a people, nothing gets better at this point. Like
I find
it's not getting better.
It's not getting better. It's very strange that they would do that. I understand it from like a funding side, like, okay, you sign this big deal with Netflix. Netflix gives you a big, booster shot of cash. But I can't imagine there is any way for them to make more concurrent shows. I can't see how that's physically possible for them.
Well, I mean, I know they got this, and obviously they just put out the Chainsaw Man movie. They announced that they're going full steam into working on season 2 for Chainsaw Man. They've got Hell's Paradise. It's coming out right now, season 2. And there was another big one that I was like surprised to hear that Mappa was doing that as well. What's the other big one that they have going on? Oh, now I'm real excited because I just remembered that we're getting more Dorohedoro anime later this year.
Eventually, yeah, the Dorohedoro stuff's going to come out.
They did Ranma 1/2 remake, Campfire Cooking, Zenshu, Lazarus. Of course, they did Lazarus. Man, that was not it, man. Vinland Saga. Yeah, no, they got a bunch of stuff going on right now. They really did not give themselves a break after slaving over Attack on Titan all those years.
And for what?
Yeah, and for what?
And for what? What did that accomplish?
So, yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting time in the Jujutsu Kaisen narrative. And I'm gonna try not to just like hate on it. Like I want to view this objectively because some people seem to like it. But wow. we've transitioned out of the big event, the Halloween Shinjuku attack. Gojo is out of the picture, and now they've done a time skip. Everything is like essentially post-apocalyptic because the bad guys enacted their plan to turn like every random person in Japan into a Jujutsu sorcerer. And that is like the first thing that I have issue with about this whole arc. I think that is like very lazy writing to just have a reason to pull out more JoJo characters, essentially.
I think it's very funny because obviously we are now, this season is coming out in a weird space for Jujutsu Kaisen because we are now not only post wrapping up the manga, but we are post wrapping up the sequel manga as well.
Yeah.
People now have a radically different opinion of what Jujutsu Kaisen is as a whole than they did at the end of like last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously also, we're going into this like dispersal moment of the show where we know that Akutami like didn't really like his choice of main character and almost immediately started writing new main characters to try to supplant him. So making a shit ton of new guys to just throw around makes perfect sense in that light, right?
And
now we're just gonna have this massive like rotating cast of people.
Yeah.
Which I gotta say, I do not hate this in any way. I clearly like this much more than you. It's also very funny to call it like the Culling Game arc, because this is the last thing that happens in Jujutsu Kaisen. This is the ride straight to the end of the entire thing. So calling it its own exclusive arc is very weird to me.
My issue is it feels like such a tone shift. It's a jarring tone shift to what I was like thinking Jujutsu Kaisen was and what I was liking about it up to that point.
Did you think it was a procedural? Did you want it to go back to being like a procedural?
I kind of did, I kind of did. I could see the bones of the story that Gigi Akutami wanted to like tell when he pitched this series, and then very famously he got a bunch of editorial notes like switching up the main character to somebody who is the opposite of the character he wanted to write. And a bunch of other stuff, like putting it in a high school instead of just having it be like a sorcerer society that inspects and hunts down demons.
Harry Potter has fucked us up so bad.
Yeah, that's what I was
Harry
kind of
Potter
getting
has
at.
Ruined society in so many different ways.
The young adultification of the plot that he wanted to tell, essentially, making it more teen focused, more team focused as well. Got to have that Naru Sasukura trio in there.
Yep.
So I feel like
he puts an end to that.
Yeah, real
pretty quickly,
real definitively.
Yeah.
So the success of Jujutsu Kaisen comes off as like this Faustian bargain in that context, where he compromised a bunch of core elements of the thing that he pitched so that it could be more popular, which it absolutely was, because they pushed the hell out of it, on top of it just being like naturally like in good art and interesting character designs. And what he's doing with the Culling Game like section is we've expended the big like midpoint narrative thing, the Shinjuku attack, right? The big player is off the board, and now we've had this total kind of like paradigm power shift between all the players in the narrative so far. And instead of like what I think he should have done, which is narrow down at this point, the Culling Game, he introduces not like a handful of new characters, literally a nation full of random characters that he can just keep making up weird dudes with, which is great in some cases. I love it when that happens in JoJo, but man, I did not like the guy whose power is like summoning a subway train where he can like teleport between the subway train doors. Or the guy who is a one-man Manzai duo act, and he's like also on top of that just not funny. I find
he's Bugs Bunny.
He has Bugs Bunny powers, yes.
Yeah.
And I should have seen the signs of this coming, because like the weird like very like specific power type thing was present in the narrative up to this point. Because one I think of is the guy whose power is because humans process sight at 24 frames per second. He can he can like move out of frame sequence.
Yes, that's so dumb. It's so dumb, and also that it's introduced in a manga and has to be explained so much is so funny. It's real. It's just complete film brained.
I know.
Or, Maki's sister, who her only power at the beginning is being able to materialize one bullet into her gun.
Well, I think that is a relic of a very early version of this world and story where maybe...
No, it totally is.
Jujutsu powers were much more of a, like, less common occurrence and probably had much more like narrative impact when used, which is the kind of like thing that you would do when you want to have like, my power is to produce a single like really powerful spirit shot that I can shoot out of a regular gun.
Or your finger.
Yeah, or your finger. Like when you want that to have like a narrative punch to it, like you have to make it feel like it counts when you use it, right?
But this is every anime and every manga, this is all of shonen. You know, the cool version of this, even though it is exactly the same thing, is going to happen soon in Hell's Paradise, where we started off with a cast of people who pretty much are just people. Our main character has like ninja powers, but they're pretty reserved. Mm-hmm. And then we get an entirely new cast of characters who are introduced, and they are like wildly varied. Except in Hell's Paradise, that shit kicks ass the entire time, and it fucking rules.
Yeah.
It is the exact same, set of tropes, though. And this is just how, like, shonen has to operate. This is why Jujutsu Kaisen was, quote-unquote, meddled with, I guess, if you want to call it that. I think, honestly, editorial just comes in and says, if you want an anime off your work, like, this is the form it has to take because this is the formula that people want.
Yeah, no, it's all very, calculated, I think. They have a list of criteria of the next big thing that they want to push based off of what's popular right now. And then they just sift through the thousands of, of pitches and entries that they get from random authors, like every single month. And they go, all right, this one looks good. It'll work.
We could probably massage this into the format. That's why I think Chainsaw Man actually pisses these guys off a lot, is because he is just Fujimoto just constantly openly mocks this exact premise, He just has so much disdain for it. And like we've said before, honestly, reading between the lines, so much disdain for Chainsaw Man.
A little bit. I think a little bit.
I truly believe that.
It's hard to say. I don't think that you're wrong, but I think that at the same time, he probably still has a lot of affection for Chainsaw Man as well. I think that he sees it as something that he personally really likes that was forced to go on too long. If anything, he pities his own work.
Yeah, I think victim of its own success, the kind of thing. I've been reading way too many of these mangaka who are like, I wish I didn't have to draw this anymore, just coming out and saying it. Obviously, like, that's what happened with Spy Family for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think the polite way, if your manga is like very successful and you just suddenly quitting because you cannot take it anymore, would probably upset a lot of, potential customers as well as your employers, at the publishing house. I think the polite thing is, the often cited, I have to take a break because of health problems.
Yeah. And sometimes that's because of health problems, and sometimes that's because, like, they fucking hate the thing they're working on.
Yeah.
In Spy Family's case, Tatsuya Endo's, not excuse, but their explanation for, like, backing off for a little while, or, like, simplifying the Spy Family release schedule, or like putting out chapters that were only like 5 pages long or whatever, or completely putting a stop to any kind of plot development, was just straight up like, I'm so tired of this, And I think that is like really honest, and I think that's what a lot of these guys feel, because Shonen Jump, and by extension because they control essentially the culture of the entire market, cancels every other fucking comic. They are like, hey, you need to do this. You are the tentpole now. Like, your series needs to be
the series,
the main economic driver here, because nothing else is hitting in the same way.
Yeah.
That, like, yeah, of course it fucking like drives them insane. And of course, like, an editor coming in and being like, well, if you want Spy Family to continue to be popular and successful, like, here's what you have to do. You have to, like, hit these checkboxes or whatever. Like, of course that is going to make them go insane, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Gege Akutami went insane. Like, just straight up blew up their own fucking manga, which is what's happening here in this season.
I mean,
or really
in
next
that context,
season.
It makes a little bit more sense. I still don't like it, you know? Like, what's the other one? Someone has a power where their hair is just an airplane. Like, come on, what's that?
Yeah. Yeah, or the guy who's always lucky.
Yeah. Well, no, luck powers are cool. I'm fine with luck powers.
You like luck powers.
Yeah, they're okay. I don't have any issue with that.
You like Domino.
Domino is pretty cool, you know?
Domino's all right.
You know, kind of a fun thing. But yeah, I don't know. I've been, other than my general disdain for the culling game arc, I am really enjoying Jujutsu Kaisen, obviously, because it's like really fun to look at, and it's got really cool.
Fun to look at.
It's got really cool fight scenes. I like it when they fight each other and they do the cool moves.
That's kind of what we ask of anime in this day and age, really.
You know,
just be fun to look at.
It's baked into the DNA of, I think, what like we as Americans like about anime. And I may be dating myself with saying that because like the younger generations than us have just grown up with it being a thing that's always been around and acknowledged at this point.
Yeah, and hyper accessible too.
And hyper accessible, but like for us, like at least for me when I was growing up and like I saw like anime for the first time, the big thing was like, wow, that's cool. That's like they're doing cool things. They've got lasers and swords and big robots.
I've never seen anything that looks like this.
I've never seen anything that looks like this.
Yeah.
Like that.
Honestly, what I might have mentioned it when we talked about the Chainsaw Man movie, but I was talking about how like it has completely caught a lot of people off guard. It's financial success in the United States being mostly that like not necessarily about how popular Chainsaw Man is as a franchise, though that's obviously a big part of it. But that like going and looking at Chainsaw Man, unlike every other fucking movie being made right now, it is fun to look at.
Yes.
Shit is boring to look at in almost everything that's being made these days, you know? It's just fucking boring. And a thing comes out, and whether you like Chainsaw Man or not, it's like fun to look at and watch. And that is just enough to pique people's interest. That is enough to be successful. And I feel like that about lots of things being made these days. Is like the Netflix thing is like worrying because Netflix is boring to look at. Like that shit sucks.
Well, yeah, they're gonna inshitify everything. Speaking of other anime, I did have one other thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap it up today. I did watch a new premiere for this season.
Good.
I have not just been watching Jujutsu Kaisen. I've been trying to keep current with the stuff that I put on my list. I want to watch everything on there, and so I watched The Invisible Detective and The Blind Girl.
Good.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, real good.
Something we've read though, so not
new. Well, it's not
new.
It's not a original anime, which I'm not even sure if there are any like non-adaptation anime this season. I'd have to go back and check to see if anything is like original.
There's a couple. Couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I have read a little bit of this manga before watching the anime. And so, like we said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about this season, it is more or less like a benign little like romance anime, like for the most part. You think it being about an invisible detective, like it would be kind of like more centered around like him solving mysteries using his invisible powers. But that's really just kind of like a narrative framework for him to like hang around his office and like, I'm just going to say shamelessly flirt with his staff, which is kind of a weird gray area if we want to get into it, you know. It is weird that he's like constantly hitting on his blind, much younger like employee, right?
I mean, it's
think carefully about what you're gonna say.
Complicated. It is complicated. I mean, he is a small business owner.
That's true. I mean, his business is snitching for money, which kind of sucks. Like, you know, like detectives are cops.
Detectives are cops.
Detectives are cops. They suck.
You can't get around it.
And on top of that, the fact that he is invisible and uses those powers to attain information, like, that's a huge moral quandary. That's huge invasion of privacy. He can just walk into people's houses, and he does, by the way. I guess in Japan it's not breaking and entering if you're invisible.
Oh, you think they have that on the law books there?
Yeah, I think maybe that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know, the other issue that I had with this, because it's a fine adaptation. The manga that it's based off of is not even like a real narrative from what I remember. It's more like a 4-koma kind of style. You know, the chapters are more like 4 or 5 pages, you know, a month, and they're just kind of cute little interactions between this cast. Yeah, vignettes between this cast of characters. Again, really would have liked more of the detective stuff. It could have made it a lot very interesting with the invisible angle, even if it is like creepy and pervy. But we did not get that. And moreover, I am upset with the fact that they made the decision that he can turn his clothes invisible as well. And I think that is a coward move. I think that being invisible is an incredibly powerful ability to have, and to balance it out, you should have to be naked to use it.
Or at least wearing an invisibility suit, like that last movie.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, if it's got to be like a Green Man suit that can turn invisible. Something like that.
Yeah, that's what that's what he does.
Is that what he did? I didn't see that new one. I remember Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon. That's where he injects the thing and then it actually turns him invisible. He does have to get naked, and you can see his organs and shit for a while. For a while, he's just walking around as a floating sack of organs. It was cool.
No, in the new one, he's like a tech bro who develops for his own personal use a completely active camouflage suit.
What if Elon Musk made active camo suits instead of electric cars?
Yes, and instead of using it for any kind of interesting thing, he uses it to gaslight his ex-girlfriend.
Sounds like a real piece of shit. Also, not an invisible man.
I like that movie.
That is a man with an invisible suit. That's a different thing. That is a completely different thing.
He's an invisible man. The man is invisible when he's wearing the suit.
No, the suit is invisible, not the man.
No, if the suit was invisible, he would just be a naked guy. He would just appear as a naked guy, which would be a very funny glitch. There really should have been a part of the movie where his suit glitches out and he's just naked.
Hey, why are you naked?
In public.
I'm not. My invisibility suit is glitching out.
I'm wearing an invisibility suit. I swear
I didn't
to God.
update the firmware on my invisibility suit.
It's like the Emperor has no clothes, except he literally does, and he's trying to convince people he actually is wearing them. Actually, I love that. That's a really funny concept. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This one's fine.
He's not wearing a suit.
Well, this guy is wearing a suit. A suit that he can turn invisible. And I don't think that his suit is an invisibility suit. I think that he has the power to turn not only himself, but other things invisible as well.
Yeah, no, he's just wearing a regular suit. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's just wearing a suit and tie.
He's just wearing a regular suit. Again, I think that he should have to, take off the suit to be completely invisible. I think that only makes sense. Because otherwise, now we have to think about this in reverse. If he can turn the invisibility on and off on things, why can't he turn himself visible? And if he can, why does he choose to always be invisible? What is he hiding?
I do think it's weird that you have the choice. I don't think anybody should have a choice, right? You shouldn't be able to project it.
Yeah.
I think either you have it or you don't.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They took the uncontroversial middle ground here and just said that he can turn his clothes invisible too, which is boring. Did not like that. I don't think that was ever spelled out in the manga from my memory.
I don't remember them getting too into the nitty gritty of how the invisibility works.
This is a very clear directorial artistic choice for the anime, it appears. They're really fucking with the canon on this one.
Yeah, the director's like, we need to get into it.
I mean, it mostly serves as like a way to showcase that he's nice to kids, because what happens is he turns his clothes invisible to trail a mark, a rube, and a little kid bumps into him and spills his ice cream on his coat. And then when he turns his coat back visible again, we see that the ice cream is there, obviously demonstrating that he didn't take his clothes off. He can turn his clothes invisible.
Yes, he's projecting a field of invisibility.
But like I said, the kid bumps into him, and then he's like, "Hey, kid, don't worry. I'm a good invisible guy. I'm not like the others." Yeah. And it does go into a little bit like to be fair, true to form for a real private detective, he does spend most of his time like investigating insurance fraud and cheating, like for spouses. He's incredibly bored by this prospect.
Because it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sounds like
sucks.
A bad job. Sounds like a bad job.
You know what's fun about original detective fiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
We remember like original noir through the lens of neo-noir now, but like what was fun about those stories is that like the detective would be like, "Oh, thank God, a case that's not like a fucking cheating husband," and it would be like some weird shit where they'd get beaten up all the time.
I mean, it's also often implied that the only reason they're doing those, like that job in the first place is because, usually it's because they used to be policemen and they had to leave the force because they were alcoholics or something like that, or they messed up on a case, and they got fired.
Or they refused to like beat a child.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, with that one, like we can only be so lucky to have it be in the morally upstanding sector.
Well, but this is what I like. This is why I like Johnny Dollar so much, right? Because he is not
what a great
necessarily
name.
a detective. He's an insurance adjuster, right?
Double Jeopardy? Was that the one of the Bogart films?
Double Jeopardy.
Double Indemnity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He played an insurance assessment guy in that movie.
Yes, which is, I'm sure, somehow inspired by Johnny Dollar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyway, invisible detective and the blind girl.
All right. How blind is she in the show?
She's pretty blind.
Super blind.
Yeah, no,
she's blind.
She cannot see. In fact, they're doing that thing where the anime character design where she appears to just never open her eyes. It's not like blind people can open their eyelids. Like that's a true thing.
Yeah, it's why they wear sunglasses. Like
Stevie
Wonder.
But I think that they have incorporated that like character trope literally in that she does not open her eyes ever. And so as far as I can tell, that may be the reason that she's blind, is because maybe she just never opened her eyes.
She just simply doesn't open her eyes.
Yeah. I don't think anyone ever told her that you have to open your eyes to see.
Maybe she was like, I've seen enough.
One day I looked out at the world and I said, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen enough. And I closed my eyes forever.
I've simply seen enough, which is sympathetic.
They do that thing where, like, because she's blind, her sense of hearing and, like, smell and all of her other senses are essentially, like, superhuman at this point. Like she straight up says that she can feel the presence of people around her, which I kind of get. but the way they describe it in the show is she more or less has daredevil powers, it would seem like. Like, they say that she's blind, but she doesn't really have any problems, with not being able to see.
Yeah, being blind is a problem. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Writers cannot resist this. They cannot resist the fucking, stupid heightened senses thing, which I imagine to actual blind people is really fucking annoying, It's gotta
be, right?
It has to be annoying to read yet another, blind character who's like, oh, but I can, sense the ripples through space of, other... And it's like, shut the fuck up. Oh, I can do echolocation.
In this specific example, she was saying that her sense of smell is so acute that she can smell how far someone away is from her.
Yeah, you have dog powers? How did you went blind and got dog powers?
Well, that wouldn't be out of the question because there are dog people in this show.
But she's not a dog people. She's a person people.
Well, what I'm really afraid of is that they're going to eventually go towards, and I did not read the manga long enough to see if they did this, but it would be really shitty if they reveal that maybe she's not just a regular blind person, that being blind is another type of yokai or something.
Oh, shit.
Because
so she really isn't a blind person. She is a daredevil.
Yeah.
She was born a daredevil.
She's quite literally a daredevil. Yeah. With the toxic ooze and everything. She's a teenage mutant ninja turtle, essentially.
Wow. This is a very annoying thing. This is something that happens actually in this most recent chunk of After God, which, by the way, still fucking rocks and is great. They introduce a character who has been blind her whole life, and when she wants to sense people or do super hearing shit, she puts on these ridiculous looking big ear cups, which is hilarious.
No, that's funny. That's really good. I like that.
It's really funny, but it is, again, another being blind gives you extra sensory powers thing, which, again, must be insanely annoying if you're a blind person.
I mean, it feels a little I don't know, patronizing in the grand scheme of things. But then again, I'm not blind. We should not talk for people who are on what their taste may or may not be.
Okay. Well, I have ADHD, and I get insanely fucking annoyed when people are like, oh, I have the neurodivergent powers of hyper perception or whatever the fuck that people say, which is not true and is dumb.
I mean, I get annoyed by that because that's just annoying in general.
It's just a fucking annoying thing that people say all the time.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah, don't say that. It's pretty dumb.
It's really dumb.
Yeah.
You don't get superpowers from having a mental illness. It's not how it works, dog. I know it's cool to think about, but it's not how it works.
But Mr. Robot and the Good Doctor. But you didn't think about that, did you? Huh?
The Good Doctor.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the Invisible Man detective. It's fine. I don't know if I'm going to keep watching it.
Well, it doesn't really have a plot.
It doesn't have a plot. Towards. It's benign, and don't get me wrong. I like, slice of life, rom-com kind of low stakes stuff, but it's got to have something to latch on to, it's got to have either interesting characters that are interesting themselves, not just because they have some kind of interesting design quirk to them, because that's the thing about this show is that all of the characters it's set in a world where there's yokai and mythological creatures just kind of as regular people, which is something that we've seen a couple times actually in different anime pretty recently. Remember that one a few seasons ago about the crow dude right? Who's just living in some rural town. And like,
well, there were a couple of crow dudes, but
yeah.
I remember that one in particular.
Yeah. It's like that where, mythological beings are just kind of commonplace, regular people. And so in that sense, like all of the characters are just regular people, but some of them are, drawn as like an oni, and we have the invisible guys, and a bunch of them are just straight up furries. Like that's another aspect.
We call this urban fantasy.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, urban fantasy. But like very boring urban fantasy where
mundane.
Yeah, mundane urban fantasy, because urban fantasy ideally would like explore what a society of all of these different elements and races and creatures mixed together living like normal modern lives would look like, or if you want to get sensational with it, you could do it like Shadowrun and have it be kind of like a cyberpunk dystopia kind of thing.
Yeah. And there's gang wars everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool shit.
And constant analogies to racism, but never like real racism.
But when you have your urban fantasy literally just as like a skin you drop on the world, and if you removed it, everyone would just turn into regular ass people, like regular ass human people with no change to their character whatsoever. Like that's just a veneer. That's not really exploring the genre. That's just saying like, okay, this person is a big muscular cat lady.
Here's the big twist.
Okay.
Here's the big twist.
All right,
we get to the end of the season, and it is revealed that, yes, this chick can see. She opens her eyes, and it is revealed that everybody is normal, and he is not invisible. And she has been doing like an odd taxi thing the entire time in her mind.
That would be amazing.
Incredible.
That would be, it would blow my mind.
Game changer.
Game changer, absolutely.
Game changer.
They're not going to do that, are they? They're not going to do that.
No, they're not. They would never do anything that brave. So what's up next on the docket? Because I know that, I'm going to at least watch the first episode of Darwin Incident. I'm going to watch You Don't Know Gunma Yet, if I can find a stream that actually works. Mm-hmm. And by the way, those episodes are like 7 minutes long.
Another one of those,
of these, another one of these shorties.
Okay.
Which I didn't realize, but I'm fine with. That's okay. Watch a 7-minute thing. That K-pop Demon Hunters anime movie came out.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's the Princess Kaguya musical movie.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. All right.
Yeah, you remember we talked about this, I think, briefly. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. Looks really bad. I gotta be honest.
Oh no. I was looking forward to that Kaguya movie.
The animation it is not Princess Kaguya.
Different thing you're talking about.
It is cosmic Princess Kaguya.
I see.
It is the tale of Princess Kaguya, except she comes down and becomes like an idol.
Right. Oh yes. I remember you were talking about that.
Yeah, they're riffing on K-pop Demon Hunters. They want to do a Demon Hunter thing. Because they can't let the K-pop upstage the anime.
Absolutely not. I'll probably be watching In the Clear Moonlit Dusk to get my rom-com fix on this season.
I have to say, I didn't mention it when we talked about it, but I have read probably like the first 5 or 6 chapters of that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And it's it is the gender dynamics and like the sexual politics are batshit insane if you think about it for even like 1 second.
That's what I'm excited about. I want to see how weird they get with it.
Yeah. In the beginning it doesn't get too crazy, so I was mostly just left to my own devices to think about it, but I wonder if they try to tackle that at any point.
We'll see. I'll be checking out Daily Life of a Part-Time Torturer. Yep. Gotta see what's going on there. I'll probably end up watching Wash It All Away, the laundry anime.
Oh, man.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Really lowering the bar here.
Oh, Jesus.
You were going to watch Fate Strange, weren't you?
Yeah, so I've watched the first few episodes of that.
Fate Strange Fake News.
Fate Strange Fake. It's hard for me to say.
Yeah.
Fate Strange Fake. I'm still enjoying it. I've only, they've only released a few episodes. I've watched the few episodes of playing death games to put food on the table, which I'm still enjoying. I'm getting more and more excited to start watching Frieren and Hell's Paradise. I think that's it so far.
I think for now, like I said, I am looking forward to the Kaguya-sama finale movie. See what they do with that one.
Oh, yes.
Because that was another famously bad ending to a manga. We talked about that.
I wouldn't even say it was like famously bad. Maybe personally, I wouldn't say it was like that bad. The problem was it was just like every other fucking one.
Yeah.
And all those endings are just very boring and mundane. So I'm excited to see if they come up with something even stupider.
And then I think that I'm going to commit to going backwards. I want to find something really old to watch, like early to mid 80s kind of thing. Something
you
that
want to go back to the mid 80s.
Yeah, I want to go all the way back.
Like Slim Shady said.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like we've progressed so far at this point that what we think of as like the anime that we grew up with as like classic. But if you really think about it, like stuff that was getting imported at that point, like, when we were watching Gundam Wing and Rurouni Kenshin and like slightly later on Naruto was starting to get brought over, which was really like the beginning of, I think, modern popularity of anime. Like at that point, there was a whole bunch of stuff that just never got like imported to America or translated at all until way later on. And now people have gone back and like delved into this old mine of weird OVAs and have done these fan translations to like bring this old stuff into like contemporary accessibility. That's the kind of stuff that I want to find, You
want to get into that.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten a couple of like kind of the shorter specials and things. I talked about it a long time, but Noroi no One Piece I found to be like such a great find. It's so cool. Just a short series of these little horror stories. I really like the idea of going back and watching some of the lesser mech shows from the 80s.
Sure.
Metal Armor Dragonar was one that I've always been interested in.
I would go back and watch Escaflowne.
Yeah, that one's a little later, I think, but yeah.
It's a little bit later, but it's also one that kind of passed me by. I saw the Escaflowne movie at one point in like high school, but I don't think I ever had access to the series like after that.
I think it would be fun to watch some of the classics that are being remade now, like Hell Teacher, like the original series of Hell Teacher, the original series of like Gigigi no Kitaro, right?
Like 70s stuff.
I think that would be fun.
That's the kind of mining that I want to get into in this sphere. Yeah, you have all of that to look forward to in the coming episodes of Anime Death Spiral.
Hell yeah. Bubblegum Crisis.
Yeah, actually, Project A-ko, that's another one that I've been meaning to go back and watch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You still
we'll
got to
see.
go back and read that original Final Fantasy 1 manga adaptation, which is fucking mind-blowing.
I do.
Oh, it's fucking great. It's great.
I think that's about it for this week. Handsome, beautiful, tall listener. Go do the stuff. Check us out.
Yep. Agree with us.
Agree with us on all things.
Take our opinions as your opinions.
Defer to us in all matters of like media literacy and taste.
Yeah,
we know what's best for you.
Tell people that Slayers is the best manga and anime.
Yeah. Wait, no, don't do that.
Just do that.
Okay.
Go watch the Guyver live action movie. Fuck it.
All right.
Live your life.
Until next time. Bye. Listen, we've been doing this too long for you to get flustered every time I say something in a weird way.